Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to the Great Lakes Health Radio program with your host, Francesca Messiah from Kaleida Health. And we are on 96.5 FM and WUFO AM. So I just want to acknowledge our radio station that we're on. I want to thank you for listening to the radios to this program on health, always focusing around health. I want to thank you for letting me know in the community when I see you that you're listening to the program. And remember, I'm always asking, what would you like to hear? So always think about that. What topic? I mean, because I can't think of it all. I appreciate my village. Kaleida Health. Who is Kaleida Health? Kaleida Health, we are the hospitals. We're Buffalo General Medical Center. We are Gates Vascular Institute, DeGraff Memorial. We have two skilled nursing centers, one at DeGraff, the other one at High Point. We are Oishei Children's Hospital. We're Millard Fillmore Suburban. We're Hurdle Elmwood, and at our Hurdle Elmwood Medical Center, that's where we care for adults. And we have Niagara Pediatrics, and that's on Niagara Street, where we care for our children. And we have women's clinics throughout the city of Buffalo. And we also have our family planning. So our family planning division. So as you can see, at Kaleida Health, we're over 10,000 strong with employees, and we're also an OLEN. And also we are hiring. We're hiring in just about every single area you can imagine. And it's really a great career choice, great benefits. So on with our program. What is something, listeners, what is something that happens every single day in healthcare, can happen at any time of the day in healthcare, and normally puts a smile on your face? Da-da-da. Babies. So today, we're going to be discussing the mother baby unit at Millard Fillmore Suburban Hospital, and our guests for today are Bonnie Thompson. Good morning, Bonnie.
Morning.
And Bonnie is she's a nurse manager of the mother baby unit at Millard Fillmore Suburban. And joining Bonnie is Melissa Spriggs. Good morning, Melissa.
Good morning.
And Melissa is the nurse manager of labor and delivery. You have to have labor and delivery to deliver the babies, right? And so, ladies, how are you? Yeah, you're welcome.
I'm wonderful.
Oh, great. And you know what? And so many times, when I'm on Facebook, there are those I forgot what they call them, but you click on them and you have the cutest, little babies and the parents or grandparents. And I don't have children, but I just love them. They're great. Yeah. So let's get in. Let's begin our interview. And if you could describe we said the topic is mother baby unit. What is the mother baby unit? And what are the benefits of being with the baby in the mother baby unit? Because I don't even know what. So if you could just let's talk about that for our listeners.
So the mother baby unit is the hospital ward that you go to after you have a baby. So once the baby and the mom are stable from the labor and delivery perspective, and everybody looks good, they come over to the mother baby or postpartum unit and continue their recovery, where a lot of teaching goes on how to take care of the baby, breastfeeding and lactation assistance. And they stay here usually for typically 2, maybe 3 days, depending on the type of delivery, before the family is ready to take the baby home.
And so, what are the benefits of? I mean, that's what you said. I mean, I remember years ago, like when I was born, The babies, I mean, I don't remember. Obviously, I don't remember, but I guess the babies were in they looked like little, it looked like little it like little pans, like the babies were in. I guess they're cribs, right? I don't know what did they call them? Like what's in, and then the mothers were in another room.
Yes, so actually the babies are still in those buckets, but the bucket, they call them a bucket. Um, and the buckets are actually in mom's room now. So we encourage rooming in for the entirety of the stay, which means baby stays with mom. And it's definitely a change from the old school separate nursery where babies spent most of their time. And the benefits range from improved bonding, increasing the mom's experience with caring for the baby through her stay. And then breastfeeding, there's lots of breastfeeding benefits. It's much more successful if you do a lot of skin to skin and have a lot of time with your baby.
Hmm. But breastfeeding is not mandatory, is it?
Oh, no, no, it's always mom's choice. We have a fantastic lactation team here that helps with the moms who do choose to breastfeed. And then the formula feeding moms, we have a wide range of formula that we have available depending on their choice.
Hmm. And I know it's just separate, but do they make flavored formulas or all formulas the same?
All formulas pretty much taste the same. They range varying from milk based to soy based. We even have vegan, vegetarian type formulas that are available. But flavor wise, they are pretty much all the same.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. And now can the dads come in? So it's a room. It's like a regular, it's a private room then, right?
Correct. So it's a private hospital room. We currently the visitation allows for one support person besides the partner. Um, and dads and partners, they stay overnight. They're encouraged to help care for the baby. The nurses are really good about including them in the care and the teaching because it is a family effort, of course, to take care of a newborn.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know enough about doulas, but our doula, would that be a support person or no?
Yes. So the doula would be if a patient has a doula they've been working with and they have the doula at delivery and in the postpartum period, this is an addition to their two support people.
Okay. Okay. Um, what did postpartum patients do before this type of service? Before this type of mother baby service with a private room?
So we did touch on earlier the room, the nursery with the rows and rows of babies where you could walk by and look in the window and see all the babies. And in this model, the nurses provided most of the baby care and the feeding. Um, and mom was more or less encouraged to rest in her postpartum period and heal. This was at a time when people stayed a lot longer in the hospital, and rest was what we thought that new parents needed versus now when we realize getting up and moving is really the best thing for everybody and providing that baby care is the best thing for bonding. And so it's definitely it's a different model, but it's much more beneficial for mom and baby.
So what if the baby is in the room with mom and just keeps crying and crying and crying? You know, is there then someone at the hospital to come and help the mom if the mom looks like it's too much? Like, what if it looks
Oh
like
yeah.
it's too much for her? I mean,
Yes.
what happens? Yeah.
And that does happen. And I want to clarify, we have a space where we can, put the baby, take the baby to do whatever testing needs to be done to give mom that small break because sometimes it's just an hour or two that they need rest. And our staff is really in tune with that. And they do whatever they can do to support mom in the moment.
Mm-hmm. That's great. That's great. Now, And I know you talk about, so before, what does it differ? I mean, I know you talk about skin to skin. I understand that. So what was it like before with holding the baby versus now holding the baby now that the baby's in the room? What's the difference?
So a lot of times before we went to this model, there wasn't a lot of holding or bonding by the families at all. If they wanted to breastfeed, the baby would be brought out every 3 hours to breastfeed and then brought back to the nursery. And so it really was put on a schedule and not necessarily what the baby needed during that time. So this model helps moms learn that their baby may not be an every 3 hour feeder. Their baby might be an every hour feeder or hour and a half feeder. And breast or bottle, however you choose, babies have their own schedule. But holding and touching that skin to skin nowadays really helps that baby regulate and transition so that they have a better outcome. Before, that baby was swaddled, placed in a bassinet, and only handled when it was something needed to be done to it. So this really provides that better whole family centered experience.
Mhm. And the reason I'm asking these questions because this program, this radio station, WFO, is a generational radio station, and we have a good 3 generations of people who listen to this program. So it could be that someone is in their 60s listening to this, the way it was before, but their daughter, their granddaughter or their great granddaughter might be having a baby today.
Right.
And I just want to make sure that that's why I keep going back with the compare and contrast because I know it's a generational listening audience. So now you talk about providing education for the new parents, and you provide breastfeeding education. Are there any other types of education? And I never knew education was provided for parents in the hospital. So is there any other type of education that's really important for parents to have before they go home with this new bundle of joy?
Lots.
Absolutely. So one of our
Well,
big,
God, well, you know what? God be willing, they go home with this new bundle of joy, I should say.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we have 2 to 3 days, 4 at max, to give these new parents a lot of education, and it's a lot coming at them. We do focus on safe sleep. I think that is something in the community that there's still not enough information and push out there. And we still have a lot of people in the community practicing unsafe sleeping practices with infants. So that is one of our huge initiatives over here. But everything from, signs and symptoms to be aware of, when to call the pediatrician, when to call the OB, making sure they have their follow-up appointments lined up. Everything they need to know to kind of get through that first few weeks with the new baby.
How to soothe the baby, bathe the baby, how moms take care of themselves as well. It's not all about the baby, it's also about the mom and her recovery as well.
Oh, of course, of course. That caregiver. And about tests. Now, tests are provided for the baby at this time. Again, I'm just thinking they're born and they go home. But are there tests provided for the baby?
Yes. So we do a hearing screen on every baby to make sure that there's no signs that there's any hearing issues. We also do blood work on baby to make sure that their body is regulating things appropriately in the postpartum period, everything from blood sugar to their bilirubin levels. And these are standard tests. And, sometimes they need a day or 2 extra to kind of make everything kind of transition from being inside of mom to regulating everything themselves. And it's all normal newborn stuff, and they get there at different times. But we watch that stuff and we intervene if there's any concerning blood work that comes back or If they don't pass their hearing screen, they get referred for follow-up. So we're really looking out for anything that can be found at birth that might need some follow-up.
That is so fascinating to me. That's just so fascinating to know within a few days all of this happens. And the reason why I just have to let listeners know we're talking about this because at Millard Fillmore Suburban, we are building a brand new mother baby unit. And so that's part of the focus and why we're talking about this. So I just want to make sure that our listeners are aware. Now, are all postpartum patients automatically assigned to this unit, or is this just upon request?
They are automatically assigned to mother baby after labor and delivery. The only time that they would go somewhere else is if they needed critical care, if they needed to go to ICU for a complication. But for 99.9% of women, they finish delivering their baby and recovering in labor and delivery, and then they transition over to the mother baby unit to stay for the rest of their recovery.
What if someone is listening and that younger person in their household is 4 months pregnant and really hasn't been to see a doctor? You know, where would they start so they can are connected with the mother baby unit at Millard Fillmore Suburban? What advice would you give for that person who's like 4 months pregnant, hasn't been to proper care as of yet? How can they get connected? What would they do?
My best advice to anybody who is looking to deliver here and is looking to start their prenatal care is to visit our website. You can find a list of our doctors on our website that deliver at this hospital. And that's honestly the most comprehensive list you're going to find, where you know that they can come here and deliver your baby right on the Millard Fillmore website.
What if their computer is down? Is there a phone number?
Yeah, well, we can certainly take calls here. I can give you the number for the mother baby unit.
Oh, please do. Yes.
It's 716-568-6720.
And one more time, please.
716-568-6720. And Francesca, I want to add something here, if that's okay.
Of course.
Speaking of, the generational differences and people who are newly pregnant wondering where they can deliver, we are a very inclusive facility. We have a big focus on diversity and inclusion in our childbearing population, and we cater to every type of family, no matter what that looks like. So we do have a lot of patients that come through that identify as LGBTQ, part of the LGBTQ community. Our staff members have had extensive training on these types of populations, and we just take a lot of pride in that, that there's some judgment-free zone, and families are beautiful no matter what they look like. And we enjoy sharing that experience with them. We are a very, very open-minded facility.
And you must be reading my questions, because that was my next question. I was going to ask about that. So and along those lines, so you talk about the staffing. So it sounds like your staff is trained in the area of diversity, inclusion, and equity. And what else makes the staffing unique for this unit?
The experience.
Yes.
People come to this unit to work and they do not leave until they retire. So we have a lot of years of experience on our unit. And these people have embraced this new generation and all of the differences in the most amazing way. And they absolutely love to share their experience, share their knowledge. with everybody who comes through our doors.
That's wonderful. I mean, tours. So before someone is delivering, are they able to bring siblings on tours to see where mom or wife or husband or that significant other, can they come tour before that day happens?
Unfortunately, since COVID, we have not reinitiated our tours as of yet. We are working on a plan to get it reinstated again, but at this time, we're not doing tours yet.
Do you have a video that people can go and look at? I'm just wondering.
I believe so.
Yeah, I think there's a video on our website that gives a tour of the unit.
Yeah.
Not ideal. I remember being able to tour before my deliveries, and things are just a little bit different still from COVID, and we're all trying to bring everything back in a way that's safe for the community.
No, I agree, and I'm sure the community would be 100% behind that, because it's all about health, and the number one thing you want is the health of the mother and the health of the newborn, or they could have twins or triplets.
Yeah.
Or more.
Yeah, so true.
What happens if the mother has, multiple births? Is a room large enough to accommodate 5 little ones in the room?
5, they don't typically have a gestation long enough to come here. Mom will come here.
Yeah.
If she's having
twins.
Yeah.
How about twins?
We do get quite a few twins, and we haven't delivered triplets here. I believe those are mostly over at Oshai, but we'll deliver twins here, and they will get to come over and room with mom. And
we do have a few bigger rooms to accommodate. And we also do have a 10-bed neonatal intensive care unit on site. That's level 2, just in case the baby does need a little extra TLC or a little extra time. We have the people on site that can help.
Yeah. And I just want to add that if the community is interested in supporting this project, Mother Baby Unit, this new unit at Millard Fillmore Suburban, you would go to the website, you would type in give2kaleida.com. Again, if you're interested in supporting this project, it's give to Kaleida, and that's KALEIDA.com. So I just wanted to let people know if they're, interested in that. And and I chuckle because you say you've never delivered triplets, and it could be this evening or tomorrow. Triplets come. You'd be like, wait, did Fran just say that?
Yeah, it is the nature of the beast with babies, is you never know what you're going to get. You never know what's going to walk through the door. It's always exciting. We deliver 2,700 babies a year at our facility alone, which is just remarkable considering that's just our facility. So there's a lot of new babies every year being born into the community, more than we realize.
Oh, that's one heck of a birthday party.
Mm-hmm.
An annual. Is there anything else before we go? Anything else you'd like to share with our listeners?
I mean, I think we covered most of it. We're a wonderful facility to give birth at. So if there are people listening who are on the fence or are trying to make up their mind and decide, feel free to give the unit a call. I'd be glad to answer any questions personally. I know Melissa would as well. We just love it here.
And if you could give the phone number again.
Sure. It's 716-568-6720.
And one more time. I think it was twice.
716-568-6720.
And you also mentioned that the information, how would they find the information on the website?
So you can go right to kaleidhealth.org and they give you a list of hospitals to choose from. And once you get into Millard Fillmore Suburban Hospital, we have a whole part of our site dedicated to women's services.
Nice, very,
Lots
very
of
nice.
information there.
So when the mother returns for a visit, does she go back to the hospital or to her to her obstetrician? Is that where she would go back to?
Yes. For the postpartum visit, she would go to the OB about 6 weeks after delivery, typically.
Okay. So just in case the mother doesn't live near the hospital, but the doctor's office is closer to where she lives, that way, you don't always travel there, but this is where you want to begin your life with your baby. That's what I mean, that's the feeling I'm getting from this interview.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's just like, oh, so sweet. Well, I want to thank you, ladies. I want to thank you, Bonnie. I want to thank you, Melissa, for taking time from your busy morning to discuss the mother baby unit at Millard Fillmore Suburban. I can hear that. Do you play music in the background when a baby is born?
Yes, we do.
Oh, yay. I can hear the music.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you again for being our guest this morning on the Great Lakes Health radio program.
Thank you so much,
Francesca.
Oh, yes. Have a great day.
You too.
And thank you. And I just want to say, and next week, you'll hear from my esteemed colleague, wonderful person, Cindy Bass. And Cindy is from ECMC, Erie County Medical Center, where she'll have another very informative topic to share with you. And in 2 weeks, God be willing, you'll hear from me, Francesca Messiah, manager of outreach for the Kaleida Health Foundation. And be safe and take care of yourself. Bye-bye. And thanks for listening. Bye-bye.